Hi everybody, it's Anna. Time for the Thursday card in this week's tarot story. So today we have the Ace of Swords. So the Ace is the beginning point of a 10-card trajectory, and I often refer to it as the seed card. It's what we plant in the ground and make room for. So something that's going to grow, something new is going to come onto the planet, right? Swords are connected to the minds. They're about ideas and beliefs, strategies, as well as communication. So when this card shows up, it tells us the mind is being invited to start something new, a new kind of learning, a new way of making sense or strategizing, or a new way of communicating. And actually, I think communication is one of those pieces that we might forget that the mind is in charge of. It's really important for us to realize the mind is in charge of making sense of things, right? And actually telling stories to help ground our choices. So the way we tell stories changes how the mind, of course, engages the world. And so I feel like what we're looking at this week, we've got, so far, we've got the Three of Cups and the Knight of Wands reversed. And both of them are challenging cards in the sense that we're trying to acknowledge energy, to support energy, to help this sort of expansion of energetic power, right? Which can be scary to the mind, right? Because the mind, for the energy, building up energy always feels a little nervous to the mind because it doesn't really know where that energy is going. It's building to something the mind can't see, and that makes the mind nervous. There's already a tendency for the mind to be nervous around this. But if the mind also has stories, it's written stories, it's told your story a certain way that has taught it to be fearful or anxious, or that things never work out for us. If the mind it's kind of berating you with stories of how things have not gone right in the past, then the mind is actively, not only is it fighting the buildup of energy, it's pulling out that energy. It's leaking your energy out. So it's important for the mind to realize it's doing that it's not really serving you as it tells these old stories, because these old stories are not in congruence with what you're doing right now. And they're pulling energy out. It's really a way of sabotaging where you are right now. And the mind often doesn't realize it's not helping. The mind always thinks it's helping. Okay. It always thinks it's helping. And because the mind primarily has been taught, or is sort of geared toward keeping us safe and alive, that's what these stories are about. They're trying to keep you from overextending yourself, keep you from exposing yourself, keep you from getting excited about something that's probably going to fail, whatever those are. That's all about preserving you, keeping you in a safe, smaller space. When your intention is no longer to survive, but to thrive, the mind has to realize these stories are not helpful any longer. They're no longer supporting you in your primary mission, which is expansion, creation, innovation, right? So the Ace of Swords to me is the mind, helping the mind identify that it's trying to do something new. It needs to develop new stories, new tools, new ways of communicating, which match what you're here to do and to help it along. So for example, the Three of Cups I talked about for the Tuesday card is gathering around yourself people who are excited for you, who support your heart, because your heart's ready to launch into something and it needs to be anchored and loved and supported. That momentum needs to be built, right? And how, oftentimes when we have in the past, most creatives have had the experience of offering your vision to somebody and having it not understood or criticized, which is very painful. And so, the mind goes, oh, that was really painful. We're never going to tell anybody our vision anymore. We're going to keep it close to ourselves. We're not going to ask for support anymore. That's a story the mind goes back to. Remember that time when we shared that with that person and they made fun of it? The mind's reminding you of that because it's trying to keep you safe from the pain, right? But what the mind's actually doing with that story is preventing you from getting the support you need to actually launch. So again, this is about helping the mind pay attention to the tools it's using and to help it identify the tools that are not working. This is the Ace card, right? This is the beginning of the journey of the mind examining itself, looking at things, developing a clearer understanding and partnership with the intuition, and aligning itself. So this is going to be probably it's a 10-card trajectory. There are 10 steps to the mind completing this work. This is the beginning point. Is the mind willing to look at what it's doing and to do the work required to become aligned with it, with intuition? So we're not asking the mind to do it all right now. We're asking the mind to be willing to make a space, plant it in the ground, and allow this to grow. That's our Thursday card. See you tomorrow for our final one. Bye.